For mom, a magical Avera necklace with interest-free easy pay. Holiday shopping, done. Light up your holidays with exciting offers every day at tsc.ca.
This program is brought to you by Ignite TV. Now you're in command. Visit Rogers.com for more details.
Today, we're doing things a little different on the show. My first guest is Tracy Robinson, and we're actually doing a two-part show today. Now, Tracy, but I'm going to leave the other bit until a little bit later as a surprise, because it is a little bit different. But anyway, Tracy, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Lynn.
Now, you do hypnosis.
Yeah.
And
proud hypnotist.
Yeah. And NLP, correct?
Yeah. NLP stands for Neuro Linguistic Programming. So think of it like the way we're wired.
Mm-hmm. Now, do you find that that works with with the hypnosis? Or like, is it two separate entities, or is it something that you can combine and work together?
As far as training, they are two separate entities, two separate things. The way that we function, and by we, I mean the Master Hypnotist Society, that's what I belong and train under. They believe that they have to go hand in hand, that you can't really do one without the other, or think of it like we have extra tools in the toolbox, should we need them.
Okay, and that makes a lot of sense, because I know there's times that I'm not sure how to put, but the way people word things as well is part of the NLP. Is that correct?
Yeah, and think of NLP like twofold. The way that we are wired, I alluded to that. So whatever our upbringing might have been, that could have been what we were steeped in. Think of it like a soup base or a soup recipe. Mm-hmm. And so the beliefs of others, the things that happened, even sitcoms and storybooks and nursery rhymes, that's the salt, pepper, bay leaf of what we were steeped in. And our beliefs, our hard wiring comes from that stuff. So then we get on like autopilot, let's call it. Our beliefs are almost running us, and we can be almost like horse blinders. We have horse blinders on to other things or other availabilities to us because we're all of a sudden the pattern's running us.
All right. So with hypnosis, can you can change those patterns?
That's the beauty. At one time, they thought the brain just turned to cement and we were stuck with what we had. But now they know we literally make new neurons all the time. We're making new cells, we're shedding skin, growing new hair. We make new neurons all the time. So the good news is we can teach old dogs new tricks. We can build new neural pathways.
Wow. Now, I would like to talk about that side of things a little bit more. But first of all, I want to talk about hypnosis. Now, I know there's a lot of people who have, say, a different idea of hypnosis than how it is used on a clinical. Mm-hmm. You see it on TV, right? And people are put under and they're made to do things that they wouldn't normally do. Is that accurate? Like, when someone is under hypnosis, can you actually make them do something they wouldn't normally do?
No, all hypnosis is actually self-hypnosis. I'm guiding them into the state of hypnosis. I'm guiding them into a certain mood or a certain energy, but I can't make them go there. If people are at one of my stage hypnosis shows and they're coming up on stage and they're doing the certain things that we do, and our shows are all family friendly, so they might be deep sea fishing, for example. They would do that in their normal waking state. If people are timid or not sure, they're not going to come up on stage anyways. And when I did some of my stage shows, I was trying to sell tickets, and one of the ladies says, well, I'm not getting dragged up on stage. I said, I don't do that. You volunteer to come up. I wouldn't want her up there if if she wouldn't be a willing participant. It wouldn't be much fun for her, and it probably wouldn't be funny or entertaining.
No. Now, can everybody be hypnotized, or are there some people who can't?
In our free screening, we say there's only 3 types of people that can't be hypnotized. The first person is someone who's really, really drunk. Really, really drunk people don't follow our suggestions very well. The second type of person is someone who maybe they have a really low IQ. They may have had some kind of brain damage or a stroke. And for some of those types of reasons, they can't follow along with the suggestions the way that we would want. And then the last type of person is someone who's, kind of got an attitude about it, or they're at one of my stage shows saying, hey, I bet you she can't hypnotize me. So with that type of attitude, the possibility is pretty remote.
Yeah, because they're not allowing it.
Right. So if there is an allowance, if we can't be in rapport, there are some people that more repetition is useful. Like if people are talking in their head or worrying if they're going to do it right, that sort of thing. But to answer your question, we believe everyone is hypnotizable, unless, of course, they don't want to be. Okay. We're often in the state of hypnosis many times a day. We just don't use that language. So if we're watching a movie and we laugh when it's funny or we cry when it suggests it's sad, the movie isn't real. We're being emotionally suggestible, and it's hypnotic in nature. All advertising is hypnosis.
Yeah. Now, a lot of times you hear the term about road hypnosis, where when people are driving and they get kind of, I guess, tired or bored, and they're almost
kind of trance out. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So our bodies are so used to driving, it becomes monotonous. If something actually needed attention, we would come back out of the kind of that trancey state. Mm-hmm. But while things are good and everything's on cruise control, we go over in what you're calling mind hypnosis, but you're really kind of going into your unconscious or your problem-solving brain and maybe creating the future or solving a problem or whatever. And should you need to, or if there's a red light, you'll come back. But it's that unconscious problem-solving brain that we are accessing when we're in hypnosis.
Okay. Now, so if somebody wants to, say, quit smoking, is this something that hypnosis can be used for? And what is the, I don't want to use the word guarantee. What is the likelihood that it's actually going to work? I mean, obviously the person has to want to quit, correct?
Mm-hmm. Correct. So we do a free screening to weed out those people. If they're window shopping or kicking tires or, just looking for information, we're going to weed those people out at the screening. Mm-hmm. And then they are sincere about their change, and they come and they read big, huge binders. We have big binders with testimonials of people who have made a change here. They come and read those. Sometimes that settles them down. Mm-hmm. And then the way that we function, should they ever need help with their change? So let's say they stop smoking with us, and then a year from now, something's going on in their life. They're stressed out and they're thinking about smoking. We offer a stay with it guarantee that basically says you can come back and have a free kind of brush up session should you need.
Oh, that's good.
And I even had someone not that long ago, he's holding this binder and he's like, okay, well, this is all your successful stuff. Like where's the real stuff? Where's the stuff, let's say? And it kind of threw me because I thought, well, I'm not promoting just the good. This is, we weed out the people that aren't ready. I'll send them home if I don't think it's a good fit. Mm-hmm. But our success stories and our testimonials are like, okay, let's say 90 to 90% of the people that have their change here. We stay with them until they make their change.
Oh, that's good. Now, what are some of the things that people would come to see you to get help with?
Okay, so the big ones are weight loss and stop smoking, or the ones people might think of. Then we have a chunk that we call stress management, but I really think it's anything that gets in anybody's way. So is it a self-confidence issue, public speaking, maybe not charging what you're worth to other business owners? Things that fall into what I'm going to call bad habits. So we have to stay in our lane. We're just hypnotists. Some hypnotists are licensed track people, but I am not. So I'm just a hypnotist. if there's somebody that I can't handle, I don't, that's not quite the right word, I have to refer them out. So if it's more of a mental health thing, I can help people with confidence or nail biting, maybe some hair pulling. But if their situation isn't under control, then I have to refer them out.
Yeah.
So there's kind of a fine line in there. Public speaking, I'm going to call it habits, better sleep, stuff like that.
Okay. Now, how long have you been doing this for?
Full-time, 5 years. Before that, I was still doing it part-time and doing my training and my certificates.
Okay. Now, what pulled you into the field of hypnosis?
I used to work in healthcare, mostly cleaning, and I see that there was not the need, that people were coming to emerge departments wanting help and they couldn't get the help that they required. And they would prescribe or put them on a wait list or yada, yada. And it hit me that somewhere before people get to needing that dire of help, there was a big gap where people weren't getting the change that they needed. There was a couple other cards that had to fall into place. But when I finally decided to do this full time, I'm like, we can help people before they get to, and again, we're going to stay in our lane. If they need medical help, professional help, then I want them to go get that. But there's certain people that like shifting their confidence, or when they stop smoking, like they're on cloud nine, they're finally like, I can do a thing. And that helps them in life. So I want to capture those people. I can't help everybody. And like I'm saying, situationally, there's some other things to take into consideration, but I seen that there was a big lack of actual help, not just talking about it or hoping it would go better, that people can change themselves too. Hypnosis lets them change them, and we give them practical tools and resources for their everyday life. So yes, they are in hypnosis. Yes, I'm doing some subliminal stuff, trying to rewire some things, but we also give them the practical tools. They're different for everybody, but they would have something to do. Say they got anxious or say they got down on themselves. They know what to do outside of the office. Not just take a pill or run to X, Y, or Z.
Yeah.
I love that it's all natural and they're learning how to help themselves. They don't think that I'm fixing them. They're learning how to handle whatever their situation is.
And I think that's wonderful. I think that's great. Now, if somebody wanted to get hold of you, how would they do that? What is their
can call or text 519-955-4998. They can go to the website, Bruce Gray, Grey, like the two counties, brucegrayhypnosis.com. All the social medias, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all of them. YouTube, they're all Bruce Gray Hypnosis. I'm trying to keep it consistent there. Yeah. So the phone number again, 519-955-4998, and the website, brucegrayhypnosis.com.
Yeah. Now, do you work with other people as well?
Right now, it's just me. I do have resources should I ever want to go on vacation or that sort of thing. Within my Master Hypnotist Society, there would be people that could come fill in if I wanted to take some time off or what have you.
Now, to pull away from the logical, mundane side of it, normal side of it, do you also do past life regressions, or is that something that you just steer clear with and just stick to the clinical?
We have different ways, and a lot of them are in the NLP side of things, to handle whatever past life regression would be doing for the client. And there's a couple reasons for that. One, the insurance is insane. Like if you do past life regressions to even get insurance, let alone pay through the nose.
Yeah.
And then I'll quote our mentor, Scott McFall. He did a lot of forensic stuff in the 80s, and the long story of what he did with this one particular case is the mind wants to protect us.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't always want to reveal the truth, let's say. So if someone's in a bad car accident, sometimes the mind deletes a bit of that stuff because having to relive it isn't useful. So this one particular case, the guy had been quite harmed in a situation. And so Scott took him back to the time of the thing. And the first time it was X, Y, or Z example. And the second time they did it, it was this person that did the harm to him. And then the third time it was this other. And finally, in the end, the mind had been protecting this person because who had actually beat the snot out of him was someone very close to him. He didn't want to believe it at the start.
Yeah. Yeah, and I believe that.
So we don't do regression because the mind is not a video recorder either.
Okay.
The mind it's amazing, but there's so much data around us all the time that it has to delete and distort and distract to funnel in. So it's not a video recorder. That's why eyewitness testimony isn't used that much, because everybody's version of the accident is different.
Okay.
And so when we regress based on what our beliefs are, we're probably going to, like, no one regresses and says, I was a king or a queen. Mm-hmm. Most people regress and go, I suffered, or I died on a cross, or what have you. Yeah. And we find that that's not necessarily the most useful thing, or people can get stuck in the suffering or something in there. And so, like I said, we have different ways that we go about healing, go about letting go and forgiveness. We have some Hawaiian practices within our practice that do basically the same thing.
Yeah. Now, you say, you mentioned about letting go, letting go and about forgiveness. Forgiveness really is a huge thing, isn't it?
It is. If we're not forgiving and letting go, we're carrying around the poison dagger, and we're hurting ourselves.
Yeah. And I understand it's not just about forgiving others. It's about forgiving ourselves for allowing it to happen.
Quite often that's true. Or quite often we don't realize the person that we might be mad at is the person who ought to protected us or ought to have known.
Mm-hmm.
So we might be mad. I guess I'll take like maybe sexual abuse or abuse. Mm-hmm. Quite often they're not actually mad at the perpetrator. They're mad at the person who ought to have protected them. And they're not aware of that pain, or getting that part healed up is a big deal.
Yeah. Wow, that's really interesting. Now, I want to go back to the neurolinguistic. So how would you incorporate that with the hypnosis?
To me, it's like breathing in and breathing out. So I'm going to have to think for a minute to even answer your question. I also use NLP, like there's specific techniques, timeline. There's certain things that we do. And sometimes people respond really well to the actual hypnosis. They'll just let the positive suggestions go in. Sometimes, and it's not their own fault, sometimes people are just skeptical, or they need to have it repeated, or some people are more kinesthetic and feeling based, that we have NLP techniques that are more like in movement, maybe sometimes even done in waking state, not in hypnosis. Mm-hmm. And they're practical things, and they're having epiphanies, or they're doing things, or they're trying on a new model of the world. I think of it like putting on a Halloween costume and like trying on the world from that place. And all of a sudden, like if I said to them in a hypnosis scenario, go ahead and become confident. Well, if they don't have a reference for that, then what we might do in NLP is something called modeling. So I might say, do you have a friend that is confident? They're like, yeah, my friend Bob. Okay, imagine you're Bob. Put the costume of Bob over you. Now go into that work interview or work scenario and be Bob in that and model him. And we'll play around with that in some ways, but that's the general gist of this. So instead of them just listening to a phrase, they get the feels of, right, how would Bob act? Oh, he'd have this energy. Cool. I'm going to walk in like Bob. And this idea works with, let's say, like high school students that are suffering with self-confidence. If I say to them, hey, maybe they say their favorite hockey player's name. I said, okay, imagine you got the hockey equipment of your favorite player. Now imagine walking into the halls of the school. Well, they walk differently, don't they? Because they're imagining there's somebody else.
And they're walking with confidence.
Right. They're walking with confidence. And then their nervous system gets the epiphany, hey, there's not the thing that I thought was happening, or bullying or negative, whatever. It's not actually happening. So they get ways to try things on, and they're more practical. I'm going to keep referencing them as tools and resources, but these are their practical everyday things. So they're going to have this subliminal stuff that's kind of implanted like baby seeds, but then in their everyday life, they're going to have this technique. Okay, before I walk into school today, who do I want to be? Okay, cool. And I'm going to walk through the halls of my favorite hockey player. And then if there is any negativity, it kind of hits the hockey player's outfit, let's say.
Yeah.
Oh, my friend Bob, they would just tell them to disappear, kind of thing. So it gives them another reference point. Because if they weren't confident to begin with, then they at least have the shoes to stand in to try it on.
Yes.
Saying, go ahead and be confident. Well, if they don't have a reference point for it, they don't know how to do that.
No, it makes a lot of sense. One of the times I was down in Nashville, volunteering for fanfare, we would take turns. Two of us going. We take the golf cart and go to the cafeteria and bring back food for everybody. And this one time that we went, it was Richard was driving, and he looked at me and he said, "All right, get the attitude." And I knew exactly what he was talking about. And I sat there, head up, chest out, waving to people. And nobody knew who I was. But because I had that confidence, I had that air of I am somebody, people were coming up and asking for my autograph. Well, I gave it to them. They still don't know who I am, but there's people out there that have my autograph.
There you go. Right. So that's a perfect example of what we're describing.
Absolutely. And there's so many, like attitude really is a big thing.
And the only way the mind shifts perception or rewires itself is in those moments of actions and those epiphanies.
Yes.
Thinking about how it could be different never changed the brain. Going in and actually doing it is the difference.
Yes.
So let's say someone's fallen off of a bike and they've hurt themselves. Now their belief is biking hurts. Well, they're going to keep that belief. And it doesn't matter how many, YouTube videos or books or yada, yada. That's data on this side of the head. That hasn't changed their belief. Their friend could say to them, hey, biking's fine. They inside their head, they don't know that. It's not till they get on the bike and it goes differently. That's when their belief is, oh, biking doesn't hurt now. That's when the neurology changes.
Now, something I hope you don't mind me saying this to you, telling you, but it's been on my mind even since before the show started. And I don't know if this is anything that you've been thinking about yet, but you're going to be doing something else. You're taking some courses next year. There's a third modality that you're adding to what you do. That's why I asked you if there was something else that you did, but you had said no. But you're going to, because it's been bugging me this whole show. Like, you've got to tell her she's going to be doing something else, whether she realizes it now or not.
Okay, I'll wear a third hat, Lynn, and I appreciate the insight from you.
Oh, you're welcome. Not a problem. But it is something that it's going to add, like it's going to be another tool to put in the box.
Got it.
And it is definitely to do with the healing aspect of things.
Perfect.
So
I look forward to that coming into my life then, Lynn.
Well, you have to let me know when you do.
Well, okay, perfect.
Yeah. I would like to thank you for being on the show. And before you go, I would like, excuse me, if you can just give your contact information one more time, just in case somebody's coming in at the end and they missed it.
Yeah, so I'm Tracy. I own Bruce Gray Hypnosis. You can find us at brucegrayhypnosis.com or call or text 519-955-4998.
Yes, and all kinds of, well, I shouldn't say all kinds of problems, but you know, you want to quit smoke. Oh, and I mean, come on, weight loss. That becomes a big thing after Christmas, doesn't it?
Yeah, I have had some clients start and they're like, is this a good time to be starting? I said, it's the absolute perfect time to be starting because you're going to learn how to choose. So we don't diet here, but we learn how to choose how we're eating, what we're putting in our body based on the outcome. We all know diets don't work. No grown woman wants to deny herself. So learn how, I know. And most people think that's the only way to go about it. But here we just learn what matches up with my goal.
Yeah. Huh. I may have to come and see you. Oh no, I guess you couldn't do hypnosis over Zoom or anything, could you?
We actually do.
Oh, yeah. You do?
So when we hit lockdowns and all those sorts of things, obviously we had clients. There's tens of thousands of clients within the Master Hypnotist Society, different people around. And so they figured out how to legally do hypnosis. And yes, we have to be able to see them. So Zoom and some different things are kind of the right platforms for us. But yeah, we had people mid-program and they did lockdowns. Okay, cool. What's next?
Wow.
It's just our own flexibility.
If you want to get an appointment with Tracy, and of course up here, winters are
right.
Not really conducive.
Yeah. So there's the beauty of that is, like I had one client in Collingwood. She moved out west. She told her friend in BC. So it just snowballs. Whereas before it would have been whoever would drive to you. So now we literally have clients all across North America.
Yeah.
And here in Bruce County, if weather gets interesting, I say, hey, would you like a Zoom instead?
That's it. And you can now go global, right?
Yep. Absolutely.
Beauty of it.
I have a couple provinces to go east. So right now, currently, from BC over to like Halifax, I have a couple provinces to go to the east.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's the broad range of things that can happen. I've had clients in the States, they're done their programs. So that's the beauty of word of mouth. And like COVID opened up our world for us. All
right. Well, Tracy, again, thank you very much for taking the time to be a guest on the show. It's been eye-opening. It's been interesting. And like I say, you know, you need help. If you're not sure if hypnosis can help you, give Tracy a call. She'll let you know. I trust her. She's honest.
Again, thanks, everyone. Thanks.
You're welcome. Okay. We'll talk to you later, Tracy. And our next, the next guest coming up, I have two guests, and this is something that was all arranged really, really last minute. And we are going to talk about laughter yoga and the benefits of it, but we will also do some exercises. So don't go away.
I was born and raised in Musqueam First Nation territory by my mother, who spoke Hunkaminam to me. As a child, I ceased using my mother tongue, as to use any language other than English was considered not being Canadian, so I was told. The old people came to me in a dream and reminded me of who I am and where I come from. I have reawakened. My roots are strong, and I'm no longer a silent speaker. My language tells me where I'm from. It defines me and guides me to teach others to learn and understand our culture and traditions. A gift for those in the present and the unborn generations. What was lost is found. What was asleep has awakened. My blood is here, and I am complete. I have returned home.
These days at your local Legion, we're marching to the beat of a different drum. On a mission to support veterans, to have fun, and to welcome everyone to our ranks. You don't have to be a veteran to join the Legion. And as a member, you'll join thousands of others serving our veterans, our communities, and our country. Oh yeah, and our Member Perks program will save you thousands on shopping, dining, products, and services across the country. Join us at legion.ca.
As I said, I have two very special guests for this last part of the show, Duncan Cook and Natalie Gilray. Now, Natalie comes from Scotland. She lives there. Duncan is originally from Scotland, but he lives down in Kitchener now. And I was born over there. I was born in St. Andrews, all around Fife. And I had a dream last night that the three of us had to get together to do this show this afternoon. So who's going to argue with your guides, right? Especially when they won't let you go back to sleep until you confirm with them that you're going to do it. Now, Duncan, I'll let you introduce yourself and what you do.
Sure. Okay. Well, I'm involved in laughter yoga. I've been involved in laughter yoga for over 20 years now. And I actually train other people how to lead laughter sessions in the style of laughter yoga.
Okay. And you are a master teacher, right?
Yes, I train teachers. Teachers train leaders. Leaders go out into the field and convert people to laugh.
Oh, we're going to do lots of laughter too. And Natalie, you are a leader, a laughter leader right now, correct?
Yes.
And you're going to be training
with Duncan next year.
Excellent. Excellent. Now, are you coming to Canada to do it or?
Yes.
Oh, well.
I know. I'm so excited.
Well, when you do, make sure I know. We'll have to get together.
Definitely.
Yeah. Now, where are you going to be? Down in the Kitchener area?
Duncan knows more about it than I do.
Yeah, we'll be Kitchener, but we'll go out and, see some of the sites in Ontario. So.
Oh, yeah. But if you're going to
that'll be our
Kitchener. Yeah, but my kids all live in Kitchener, so I'll be down and
nice
get to meet you in person, and
that'd be amazing.
Amazing. Anyway, Natalie, what got you started with laughter yoga? What was your what's your why?
It's really strange. I found out about laughter yoga by accident. I was a newly qualified social worker. And I was looking for something different for a team meeting. And I don't know what I Googled, but I just fell upon this lady in Glasgow who did laughter yoga. And she happened to be coming up to Inverness that month. So I brought my whole team with me and we had the best time. And it just stuck with me. And she kept saying that I should train to be a laughter yoga leader. But I was at the start of my social work career and it wasn't the right time. And then fast forward quite a number of years, and I was really burnt out. I was very stressed, getting panic attacks, getting bullied. It was awful. And I thought, you know what? Something's got to give and something's got to change. So I went down to Glasgow to train as a laughter yoga leader. And I knew, by the end of the weekend, when I was getting the train back up to Inverness, I knew that my life had changed. And it had. It's been a wild ride since. And the people I have met from all over the world, yourselves included, it's just such a family. It's amazing.
It really is. Because laughter yoga, it's global now. Duncan, perhaps you can say some of the health benefits of laughter yoga. And really, what is it? I know what it's about, but yeah, you didn't do a good job of teaching me if I don't know what it's about.
Okay, I think the major health benefit that people are attracted to is the stress reduction, the relief from, everyday rigors of life. So laughter yoga was developed as an exercise routine. It came out of India. 1995 it started. And it was an Indian physician, a medical doctor, Madan Kataria. He started it up. He came up with the idea of, if laughter is so good, if it's great medicine, then let's start a laughter club. So that was the brain wave that my dad had, and so he went out into the park early in the morning and managed to get some people together to tell some jokes and get the experience of laughter. The jokes didn't last very long. After a couple of weeks, they ran out of good jokes. And so the fortunate thing was that his wife, being a yoga instructor, noticed that the similarity between yoga practice of breathing and laughing, the exhalation of the laughter, it really, it triggers so many things within the body. It's a body process. Laughter, if you think about it, it's a body process. The mind determines whether something's laughable or not, but the body benefits. So some of the benefits, as I've already said, massive stress reduction, and it triggers the autonomic nervous system. And so it brings the body into a state of relaxation. And when we do some laughter exercises that we've developed over the course of the time that laughter yoga has been in existence, we bring a little bit of playfulness to stimulate laughter, but the laughter can be genuine, authentic, feel good, yes, laughter, or it can be like, ho, ho, ha, ha, ha. I don't get the joke here. Well, just laugh anyway, because there isn't any joke. There isn't a joke, but the body will still get the same benefits, as long as we do the process, the body gets the benefits. So this is going around the world, very popular for obvious reasons. Most people like to laugh, I do. And very, very oftentimes we find ourselves in a state of, I can't laugh, life is so serious right now,
It is. And I think right now, at any time, I feel that people need laughter in their lives. But right now, with so much going on in the world, I think that it's needed more than it ever has been needed before.
Yes.
And when you trained me to be a teacher, I had to have 2 students to work with, and I could only get one. So I talked my husband into it. And at first he was like, oh, all right, well, I'll do it for you. And he really enjoyed it. And he enjoyed it a whole lot more than he thought he would. And remember, he even came up, he used to be a basketball coach. And he even created a new laughter exercise. Yeah. And he has noticed, like Russ notices the difference that it has made for him as well. He's a winter depressive. And the laughter, we laugh every day. It's a part of, I'm going to say routine, but it's not even a routine anymore. It becomes, I want to say it becomes your life. That makes sense?
Yeah.
Yes, it does. Yeah. It brings laughter back into your life.
It really does.
It has for me. It brings that back in. Yeah.
Yes. Now, Duncan, what brought you into laughter yoga?
Well, in 1998, no, it'd been 1997. I was sitting on the couch at home and watching television, and there was a BBC newsreel about this Dr. Madan Kataria, starting these laughter clubs in India. And so I'm sitting there watching this, and he's going around. There's a circle of people. He's going around. He's clapping his hands. He's going ho ho ha ha ha, and there's a response from each individual. So he's going from person to person, ho ho ha ha ha, and then they're all bursting out in laughter. And I thought, wow, that's that's amazing. But at the same time, you couldn't catch me out in the public park doing something like that, So I had to admire him for his, perseverance and persistence. Anyway, so it was a number of years before my life eventually got to a point where, I was a cook. My first profession was as a cook, and that's stress, high stress.
Yeah.
And by the time I got to it would have been about the age of 32, 33, I was burnt out, and I recognized I needed help, and people were telling me, yeah, you need help, And I eventually found a person, it was a psychotherapist. His name is Dave McQuarrie. And I will forever be grateful to Dave McQuarrie for introducing me to this process called laughter yoga. So, and he said to me, he says, if you want to enjoy life, learn to laugh, you know? And, you know, for me, it was, you know, he demonstrated we're in a group. I was in group therapy, 14 of us men in a group dealing with issues of anger, rage, violation. So you can imagine a room full of angry men. And here's here's this therapist saying, okay, everybody, we're going to laugh. And we're going to laugh for 1 minute. And he says, so anybody that doesn't want to join in, you're welcome to sit in the corner and suck your thumb if you want, you know. It's like, you know. But I'm going to start us off. And so that was it. The gauntlet was laid down. It's like, so he starts laughing, ha, 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 ha. And one by one, all of us start joining in. You know, it broke down so many barriers. By the end of that 1 minute, I was experiencing a state of relaxation that I had never before felt in my life. It was immense. It was like a whole ton of everything had just been lifted off for me. You know, it was just amazing. So leading on from that, I had to learn more, and I did training for laughter yoga, and the rest is, you know, history. I've been doing this off and on, you know, for the rest of that duration.
Yeah. Now, Natalie, you have a laughter club going in Scotland, is that right? You're in Inverness?
Yeah, so I'm in Inverness. Yeah.
Yes. And last year I had a paranormal team on the show from Inverness.
Mm-hmm.
And we talked about haunted places in Inverness, and it was really interesting, and some of the old stories. And of course, there's all kinds of stories back in Scotland, right?
Yeah.
All the old myths and everything. But now, do you do any clubs online? Like any laughter exercises on Zoom or anything like that? If someone wanted to get in touch with their Scottish heritage?
Yes, I'm taking a little break until January just because I'm kind of busy with everything else right now. But yeah, I usually run a Wednesday class at 3:00 UK time. And it's like a 10-minute sort of laughter blast. It's amazing.
All right. Because I still have an awful lot of cousins back home, back in Scotland. And I'm going to pass this information on to them and say, look, you need to do this.
Definitely. There'll be more classes come January. I'm sort of winding down a little bit at the end of the year.
Yeah. Now, if someone wanted to get in touch with you, what is your contact information?
So I've got a Facebook business page called Lighten the Load. Mm-hmm. And that's where I share all my information about the laughter yoga that I do. I also do a bit of life coaching and decluttering.
and you know, the two really do go hand in hand.
They really do. They
really do. All right. And Duncan, if anyone if they wanted to stay in Canadian in Canada and still get that Scottish flavor, I don't know why it was so important that they really emphasized Scotland, and I don't know why, but I just go with it. That's okay. Because we're all fighters, right? We're powerful, stubborn.
We're strong. We're strong.
Well, as Russ would say, we're not stubborn. We're determined and well-focused. So, Duncan, if someone wanted to get in touch with you, how would they?
Okay, well, I do have I manage a website. It's called laughterontario.ca. And so it's not just for myself, it's for other people within this laughter community that's developing. And so that would be the best place for people to go to get to link in with other people in the area, you know, like yourself, for example.
Yeah. Oh, I know, because mind you, when first time I tried to get hold of you, I'm not doing anything. You And I thought, wow, you miserable bugger.
I know. I tend to go that way. You know, it's up and down with me a lot of the time. So that's why I'm always willing to, if I can't help a person, then I can certainly send them in a direction where they'll find someone.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But when the time was right, you were there for me.
Mm-hmm.
And now you have some classes coming up in March of 2024.
Yes, there's actually, I need to tell you, there's an awful lot of things starting to come through for 2024. So
Good.
yes, I'm going to be doing a teacher training. It's a 5-day process for laughter yoga. And that is, so you first of all train to become a leader, and that's a 2-day process, right? Once you're familiar with the concept and you're working away and you're finding the benefits, the next stage would be, okay, would you like to become a teacher? And that's a 5-day process. So that's what I'm going to be presenting in Kitchener in March. It'll be March 20 to the 24th, and it's a 5-day process. Hopefully there'll be enough of us to have a really good time together.
Yeah.
And that's going to be with certification, through the Laughter Yoga International organization, which I'm a member of, which you're a member of. We're all members.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I'm going to be in Kitchener that week because my daughter and her husband are going down to Mexico for the week. So I get to go babysit.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Oh, I do. Spoil him rotten. But he's good for me. He is. He's better behaved for me than he is for his mom and dad. That's because he knows that I won't put up with anything like they do. And I'll spoil him if he's good. But I do want to get into some laughter exercises. That's part of the thing for today. So, Natalie, what is one of your favorite exercises to do for laughter?
At the moment, it's mental floss, just because I've got a lot of stress going on at the moment. So I just feel like I need a lot of mental floss each day.
Okay, if you'd like to lead us in that then.
Yeah, so everybody knows what dental floss is, in at the teeth. Mental floss goes in at the ears, so you need to get a bit of it into the ears, and we're just going to laugh out the stress, and we're just going to go. And then we throw that floss away. We just throw it away.
Okay. Now, before we go any further, I do want to add, if you cannot keep up with the laughing, don't push it. Okay, because it does have there's a lot of strain that it can create. If you're having major heart problems, sit back and just watch. Okay, like don't get into heavy laughter. One of the things we were taught is that a 10-minute laughter session is equal to a 30-minute cardio workout. And you don't expect that. You don't think about it. It's like, what? We're just laughing. So just keep it in mind. And if you can't keep up, just go at your own pace. Okay, Duncan.
Yes. Oh, you would like me to introduce an exercise? Okay. Now also remember, like this is a routine for health and wellness. Yeah. And so, and in response to your, it can be difficult to start laughing just spontaneously on the spot, So generally what I like to do is do some breathing exercise first. So if you're willing, then I'll introduce.
Absolutely.
Okay. So I'm just going to sit a little bit away, and I'm going to stretch out my arms. Okay. And I love to talk. Anyway, so here's something. Now, if we breathe in through our nose, it's more beneficial. There's lots of evidence to support the fact that if we breathe through our nose, it's more beneficial. And so If you can bear that in mind. Okay, so hands out. Turn your fingers into a fist. Breathe in through the nose, and bring your fists into your body. And if you feel like smiling, go ahead, and hold it, and then just exhale. Okay. And on the exhale, because you've tightened the body tightens on the inhale. On the exhale, the body relaxes. Okay. And you'll feel that. Everybody that tries this will feel that, the relaxation in the body. So let's try it again, right? Hands out, clench, pull in tight, hold it, and then relax, exhale. And if you can make it an audible exhale, that's all the better, okay? We encourage the the vocality, because that helps to break into spontaneous laughter, okay? So one more time, right? Hands out, curl the fingers, pull in, hold it. This time, hold it a little bit more, just a little bit more, tight, and then on the exhale, just go ha 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 ha. So this is an exercise anybody can do it for themselves. You can sit at home, in bed. We take laughter yoga into hospitals. People that are bedridden in hospitals, they can still participate. So this is for everybody. I'm adamant about the fact that this is so simple, everybody can do it. So it's a choice. And granted, it can be difficult. I don't feel like laughing. This is not the proper way to laugh. But once you get over that hurdle, it's like learning to ride a bike all over again. Once you get over that hurdle, then a whole world of possibility opens up. It's amazing. I can't say
it does.
Yeah.
And, if you're not comfortable laughing with a group of people, do it on your own. And get used to it. Now, we don't have much time left. But I know one of my favorite, it's the laughter cream. And I love that one. But one of the things I like about it is because you're massaging your wrists, your neck, all of these things. So there's all those extra health benefits, if you're arthritic or anything like that. And so what we're going to do is pretend we've got this big tub of cream, big tub of laughter cream. Take the lid off of it. Throw the lid away. Dig your hand in and start. And there's something that makes you laugh. Very good. Very good.
Oh yes. Can I just say one thing?
Yeah.
Now, because we focus on the laughter and we extend the laughter, okay, and we really stress, laugh more. It can be quite challenging. Your muscles, your facial muscles start to ache after a while. So it's good to massage, So that laughter cream is a great exercise for massaging, And this is where the connection with yoga comes in. It's a full body process.
Yeah.
Your belly might hurt. Your belly might hurt with the laughter, and that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I've had people where the yoga part of it has thrown them off, and they said, especially with older people, I can't get on the floor. And I just I'm going to say, well, neither can I, because if I ever got down, I'd never get back up. But you're not on the floor. You're not doing, what you're doing is you're laughing. And the exercise, the yoga part comes from the breathing. And it is so important, to know that. But our time is up.
Okay.
But I have a feeling that we're going to do this again next year in 2024 and have both of you back on for the full hour. And there's there's new things coming. There's new directions coming. I don't know what they are, but Okay, I've still got 4 minutes. Thank you, Mark. And Mark, I hope you're listening to this, and I hope that you're doing some of these exercises with us, and you can take them home and show your wife. Because when you're stressed out and running 2 stations, you've got to be. But now I've lost what I was going to say. Anyway, but there's things coming. Okay, 2024, there's more things coming. And things are going to get worse before they get better. Spring, there's going to be a turnaround. So you're getting some really quick predictions here. But I'm being told that this is why we have to really start pushing with the laughter yoga now, because next year, 2024, especially in the spring, it's going to be very, very important. There's going to be a lot of changes. There's going to be a lot of confusion. There's going to be a lot of tears. And so the laughter yoga is going to be even more important than what it is now, what it has been in the past. And it is important, all right? But going into 2024, you've got to keep laughter in your lives. Laugh as much as you can. And, if you want to get hold of me, my email is, the best one to get hold of me at is lynn@hawshire.com. And that is, Hawshire is HAWSHIRE.com. Oh, it's a whole world I've created, and it exists in the magical mists of the Scottish Highlands. And we have fun. And they do a lot of laughter there too, which they actually did before I even heard about laughter yoga. So that is how to get hold of me. If you are trying to get hold of Duncan or Natalie and you can't get hold of me, if you want to take the teaching course, I can set up a leader course for anyone that's up in my area. And like I say, it's so important. Keep laughter in your hearts. And Duncan and Natalie, I would really like to thank you for taking the time to come on the show. Natalie, especially you, because I know you haven't had much sleep.
No sleep.
I know you were earlier. You were saying you've been up for 24 hours or something.
Yeah, it's more than that now.
Oh, and you've got something else to go to after this, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, after that, get sleep.
I will.
All right. You take care, and I'd say everybody, yeah, definitely. Have a wonderful time. Have a wonderful Christmas. For those of you who celebrate Christmas, Merry Christmas. For those of you that don't, happy holidays, and just go out, enjoy yourself, and keep laughter in your heart.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Welcome. And in 2024, I'll be back with some more predictions.
Connect with us by visiting our website or email us at comments@rogerstv.com.
Hello, I'm Liz Dowdsville, Lieutenant Governor of Ontario. In 2008, carbon monoxide, a deadly invisible gas, killed an entire family in our province. That tragedy led to a new law requiring homes with potential CO sources to have alarms. John Gignac's family members passed away that day, and he shares his story to